Oh, God almighty, dude.
And this was the moment I knew I was f***ed. This isn't just any motorcycle. This was my dad's bike, the one he took his last ride on.
This is a warning from the past.
And for months, I've been wrenching on it through blood, sweat, and tears, trying to bring it back to life. Not just as a machine, but as a tribute. Countless late nights in the garage, frustration, pride, hope, all leading to the moment I will take it back to the exact road where my dad lost his life, to finish what he couldn't. But then, as I hit the road, it happened. The bike broke down, all these hours, all that effort, and now another setback. This isn't just a ride, it's a promise. A way to honor my dad, to reconnect with the man I lost, and to prove to him and to myself that the story doesn't end where it did for him. I've poured everything into this rebuild. It's been therapy, it's been torture, it's been the only thing keeping me grounded. But now, with the ride just around the corner, time is slipping away and it feels like a weight on my chest. There's no backup plan, no second chance. I have to get this thing running, not just to ride, but to heal. Because this isn't just mechanical. It's spiritual, emotional, and it's me trying to carry my dad the rest of the way home. Every bolt I tighten, every wire I fix, it's one more step towards closure. Maybe this breakdown isn't the end. Maybe it's just a part of the journey.
All right, what's up, guys? So just to give you a brief update on what's going on with my dad's bike, we're gonna take the tank off today and try to get all the rust out of it. That's one thing we forgot when we did the custom paint job, is I totally spaced getting it all cleaned out and getting the rust out of it. So there's a few different ways you guys can do that. You can either put a bunch of nuts and bolts or chain in there and try to get a majority of the rust out that way. You can do the electrolysis method. So today we're just gonna use some nuts that I had laying around. I'm gonna put them in here and just try to get the chunks of rust and stuff out of it. I'm not gonna seal it or anything like that. After you clean it, you can seal it. But my main thing is just getting the chunks out, and then I'm gonna throw a fuel filter on there. I don't know if you guys can hear the rust in there, but that's what we're gonna try to get out. That's what we're gonna try to get out of it today. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is the bike that my dad lost his life on. I'm doing a build series on it. And we're gonna actually take it back to the same highway where he passed away, and I'm gonna finish out his ride. So I'll be doing a video of that entire thing. What I'm gonna do is I just got 12 nuts right here. Make sure you count them because you don't wanna end up with, I mean, one might get stuck in there. If it does, it's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna put these in here and I'm gonna shake it around a lot. It's basically kind of like a rock tumbler. But yeah, I'm gonna take this back to that highway and finish out his ride. So that's coming up here in mid-July. So I got a couple weeks left to button everything up. So we're getting down to the wire, but we should have it all done in time. Like I said, I'm not trying to get everything out of it. I just want to get a vast majority of it out. I got two different fuel filters here. I'll throw the clear one on after I get all the rust out, or majority of the rust out, and then throw it on here, put it on the bike. That way I can see how much rust is actually still in there. And then I'll probably run a little gas through it. Once I feel comfortable with that, then this will be the fuel filter I'll be running on it. I did get the petcock for it. I went with the Pingle one. I think these things are made out of gold or something. You gotta give them like your arm and leg just to buy this thing. So I don't know why they're so dang expensive. They are made in the USA, which always a fan of that. So it does have a screen on it. Having a fuel filter is just going to be a secondary precautionary measure, just so I don't end up with a clogged jet or something from a particle of rust. I hate to have to even do this after I have this custom paint job because I really don't want to damage any of it, but at the same time I got to get it out of there. So can already see some of the rust is falling out through the where the petcock goes on. So we'll open it up and see. Smoking.
This time tomorrow, the future I will show.
Holy cow, that's a freaking workout. So I put 12 in there, so I got 9 of them out. I'm really surprised not more of this stuff is coming out, but it could be breaking it up. So, well, I will say that YouTube videos made this seem like it was a heck of a lot easier. I hope I can even get them all out of there. If I had to do it again, I would for sure probably use a chain and then also have a magnet you can shove down in there to get them all out, because sitting here having to rattle that tank around, it's exhausting. Finally got all those nuts out of there. So what I'm gonna do is, and I don't know, some people might have a problem with this, but basically I'm just gonna flush it out with water, and then once I get all the remaining junk out of there, I'll flush it with gas, but that way I'm not having to sit here and run gallons of gas through it just to get all that crap out of there. So I'm just gonna flush it for a while. Obviously all this is in here just because it sat for over 6 years with a half a tank of gas, which you never want to leave a half a tank of gas in any of your bikes. So you can already see it starting to come out a lot more clear. So I'll do this for a little bit longer and then move it around, get some of that lacquer that's built up in there that hopefully broke free to flush out as well. So you can see all the chunks of all the lacquered stuff just coming out of it. I'm just filling it up and then shaking it all around to get the remainder of that stuff out of there. I'll do this a handful of times and then run gas through it. It should be pretty much cleaned out. As you can see, there's all kinds of this stuff in there, so it's just a tedious process, and honestly that's why you never want to leave your bike with a half tank of gas, or you really always want to run at least 91 in it to avoid this kind of stuff. This is just the crap that was all over it, this with rust, so this will obviously clog up some stuff if it gets through any of the screens or filters. So I wanted to just flush majority of that out and then get it as clean as I possibly could. Now we are gonna install this, the petcock, to make sure there's nothing on these threads. And these petcocks you can get in any configuration as far as like how you want it. If you want it the on and off, facing away from the bike, towards the back, however you want it. And the nice thing about this is it's pretty smooth and easy when you go to switch from off, on, reserve, all that stuff. There's another brand out there, I can't remember what the name is. When you turn it, it's got like little stopping points, so you know, okay, I'm in reserve or I'm on. But this one's just smooth back and forth, but I guess it's just a matter of preference. So you don't put Teflon tape on your tank threads, but you do put them on the valve threads. I'm gonna put it on the starting threads, that way it's not visible when it's on the bike. So I got this one just so I could see how much rust is in there and how much is actually getting through. And then once that one's, I've seen how much is coming through and I got just clear gas coming out, I'll run this one just as a precautionary. So we'll get this one installed. See, it fits in here perfect. The outlet's facing back, that's how I want it, which obviously I haven't tightened it up 100%. I might do something like this so it's at an angle, but the outlet for the fuel line is right here because I'm gonna run the fuel line right between the jugs and straight over to the carburetor. So he has this choke kind of right here on the ignition mount. You can get a choke mount for these Mikuni carbs. I know FXR division has them. I'm gonna get one of those so I can relocate that, because having it here with the fuel line here, I don't want to mess with both of these. I mean, it's fine for now, but as far as getting it, it'll set dialed in how I want it. you guys have seen what has happened so far. Let's just talk about where the bike's at and what I'm gonna do and where I'm going from this point forward. Basically, I pretty much had everything back together. I thought it was gonna go well. It's not getting fuel. I think the carb's probably dirty just because it sat so long since the last time I cleaned it, I'm hoping. But then again, I gotta take the tank and all that stuff off. Another issue I had was, for whatever reason, when I put the front tire back on, the caliper was rubbing on the wheel. And so you guys probably heard that in the video when I was getting towed back. That was rubbing out on that, so I gotta adjust that. And then also my belt. I do think the belt is rubbing on the tire a little bit, so we're gonna have to figure out a solution for that. I'm like down to the wire here. I got a week left until I'm actually taking this thing back out to California to finish my dad's ride. Yeah, you guys can see my garage is kind of in shambles right now. I've been going at it pretty good, trying to get this thing all wrapped up and buttoned up. And it's been blazing hot in here. This Missouri summer is kicking my butt. I did get the shocks adjusted, so I got these raised up now, which I really like that. A buddy of mine, I had the bent brake lever. He welded that up because when it got straightened out, it cracked. So he welded that up. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to get this thing to powder coat, so I'm just gonna run it raw for now. Hopefully, I can get these last bit of things dialed in before we take off for California and go finish my dad's last ride. So those of you guys who have been following along on this journey, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support, comments, all the feedback. It's kind of helped me through the process, and hopefully it's helping you guys, and you guys can kind of share in on the journey. But yeah, in about a week, we're gonna be taking it back out there and finishing the ride that my dad wasn't able to. So stay tuned for that.